made On Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 55. Hunter Keister back with
K-Mac. Let's get it. Let's go.
We are back coming at you on a Friday afternoon, and we are going to talk NFL football as it is week 14 in the NFL season. And we will talk about the Thursday night game that happened last night, and also preview the week ahead for the Sunday matchups. So I hear Kurt over there. Kurt, what are you giggling about over there? What are you laughing about over there?
That game last night.
What was funny about that one to you, Kurt?
The Raiders took another game.
The Raiders defense, Derek Carr also didn't look the best, but the defense now is starting to come apart, and the Raiders are just really coming apart at the seams at this point. They sit 5-8 on the season, 2-6 on the road. The Rams get the win. They signed Baker Mayfield, and with only a couple days?
48 hours.
48 hours notice. 48 hours notice. Baker comes in, only puts him up 3 points in the first quarter, nothing in the second or third. Explodes for 14 points in the fourth quarter, including a 98-yard drive for a touchdown with 1:36 left to win the game 17-16.
Yikes.
Including I'm going to give credit to Baker because he made the throws, he made the plays, he let him down there, right? But some incredibly bad safety play by
the Raiders.
The Raiders, right? Like, just incredibly terrible play. I don't even know how else to say it.
I just don't understand why on that play Baker scored on to go ahead for the win, why you play man.
Right.
Play Wilson zone.
From the 30-yard line with
they got no timeouts.
10 seconds left. 10 seconds left, 30-yard line.
Back up a little bit.
Why are you not playing
play zone
cover 4 drop and playing the goal lines? They need a touchdown to beat you. It's just terrible defense across the board from play calling to execution. Just all of it was terrible. And Baker took advantage. He put the ball right where he needed to, and he beat the Raiders.
Yeah. That was a much needed game for the Raiders too, to even remain in playoff contention. So now that really
yeah, the Rams are definitely in. They're still
the Raiders, not the Rams, my bad. I'm saying the Rams are already toast, but the Raiders needed this to at least remain in contention for that 7th seed.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Look at Derek Carr's stats in this one. 11 for 20, only 137 yards, no touchdown, 2 interceptions. Think about that. Baker almost had his entire total on one drive.
Wow.
That's just insane to think about. Josh Jacobs even gets absolutely shut down. 27 for 99 isn't the I would
that's not very efficient,
I would probably call that shut down. That's 3.7 a carry. He did have one touchdown, but all in all the running backs, they used 5 different running backs.
30 carries.
4 running backs. 4
not
running
100
backs.
yards.
Yeah. 38 carries, 165 as a team, but just not going to get it done against the Rams. It almost does, but your defense just, when they were needed most, the Raiders' defense choked.
After that great punt.
After a great punt that cut and twirled and bounced and just rolled the sideline for 10 yards.
That ball rolled like 20 yards.
Just an incredible punt. And then you just say, okay, defense, go out and get a stop, win the ball game with a minute left, and the defense goes out and
chokes.
They choke.
Another Raiders collapse. That's like 6 games they've lost now that were within one score.
Oh, man.
And a lot of those games they had like 10-plus point leads late in the game.
The potential for this Raiders team was off the hook, really, to before the season started with the team that were going to field. And now it's just, like Kurt said, 6 games, 1 score losses. But in every one of those, probably at least 5 out of 6, I would say, the Raiders were in great contention to win.
Yep.
Just, wow. That's got to be the most frustrating thing as a fan. But I think you just got to go away from Derek Carr. I think you got to revamp the position. He's just not the guy that's going to get you over the hump, I don't think, at this point.
No, he is what he is at this point.
I don't think there's any more scapegoating for him. I think they just need to make a change and get a new, fresh face at that position to kind of man that offense. I don't know what that would do to Devontae Adams and his, want to be with the Raiders at that point, but I don't know. I just think something needs to be done because 5-8 for the team that they have is just unacceptable. Let's look at Baker Mayfield's stats. He doesn't have a bad game at all. 22 of 35, 230 yards, 1 touchdown, no interception. For 48 hours notice?
Yeah.
That's great.
For being signed off the street and released by the Panthers within a couple of days, come in on a Thursday night not knowing the team's playbook, the terminology or nothing.
No chemistry with the receivers.
Yeah. And you don't even have any of your receivers there.
Right.
Cooper Kupp wasn't there or Allen Robinson.
Yeah, and the ones you should have had were out as well. So
no Aaron Donald.
Yeah, absolutely insane for Baker Mayfield to be able to come out and pull out this win against a good Raiders team. Cam Akers assists with 12 for 42 and a touchdown.
Honestly, I'd probably go as far as saying this was probably his best game of the year because he didn't really do nothing with the Panthers.
This definitely was Baker's best game because Baker did not look very good at all with the Panthers.
No, he got benched, hurt, and then kicked out the door. So,
Brent Skronik, 7 for 89. Tutu Atwell, 5 for 50. Van Jefferson, 2 for 44, and that touchdown. Yeah,
I think that Ben Skronik was the guy that got that really big play down the sidelines where that guy got mossed. And that safety just
doesn't even make a play on the ball or anything.
He doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah, just lost. That safety was completely lost. On like 3 or 4 plays down that field, on the last drive alone, the Raiders secondary, especially their safety, just looks clueless. And they leave their corners on islands, and then Baker just puts the ball where it needs to be, and just like that, they're in the end zone, and another loss for the Raiders. So just an unfortunate, another loss for the Raiders in this one. We'll hop off our soapbox off them. 17-16, Rams get the win. And let's start to preview these Sunday, December 11th matchups. And we will start with a great matchup still, despite the Buffalo Bills versus the New York Jets from Highmark Stadium.
Yeah.
Josh Allen has thrown for 3,400 yards on the season. That's not bad. 25 touchdowns. Singletary's got 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. Insane year for him. Carl, what do you make of this matchup, Bills versus Jets?
I'm pretty sure this is their second matchup of the year. The Jets beat them before, but that was with Zach Wilson.
Yeah, the Jets won 20-17.
Yeah. The Jets lost last week to Minnesota. The Bills, pretty sure I don't remember who they played last week.
The Bills got a big win, 24-10 over the Patriots.
Yeah, it was Thursday Night Football. That's right. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna probably go with the Bills on this one. I don't see them getting swept by the Jets.
Yeah,
Mike White. I mean,
right.
He didn't really play too well last week, but they still had a chance to pull it out versus Minnesota. Unless Josh Allen has another bad game against them, I don't see that happening. Even though he has a lot of interceptions this season.
Yeah, the Bills need a big win at 9-3 to try to stay atop the AFC. Whereas the Jets, they're kind of a tweener team. Might make the playoffs, might not. They probably shouldn't because they probably won't make it too far, in my opinion. But give me the Bills to not get swept and to win at home in this one. And I like them to win probably 24-14.
I'd probably lean that way too. Next game, Cleveland heading to Cincinnati.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah. Cleveland already beat the snot out of them earlier this season on Monday night. That looked really bad on the Bengals' part.
I was talking with some Browns fans from work the other day, and Joey Burrow is 0-5
Yeah.
against Cleveland to this point.
Yeah, he's had a lot of problems with them, quite frankly. I mean, I don't know. Well, it's hard to see how this is going to go with it being Watson's second game back, especially with how he looked last week. But, I mean, that's just, come on, he hasn't played how long? 2 years?
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Bengals because I just feel like they're making their push right now towards the playoffs, to be quite frankly honest with you.
Yeah, they need the wins more than the Browns can, because the Browns are pretty much done regardless, so they can really just...
Unless they're trying to sneak into the playoffs with Watson, but I just don't see it because...
They should try to build, get a solid draft pick this year, and really take advantage of that team next year. That's where I would go if I was Cleveland, but who knows? I mean, a win here would put them back 6-7, so they're not out of it here.
No.
But, I mean, I think Joey really wants that 0-5, big, gorilla off his back, 0-5 against the Browns, and they're playing at home in Cincinnati.
I'm hoping Cincinnati wins because that'll work better for the Steelers, but I got to pick the Bengals just because they come off a huge win last week over the Chiefs, and
Beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I just don't see Watson going back to Watson until next season, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think it's really going to take some time for him to get back to where he was.
Especially against that Bengals defense. It'll be really hard to shake off the rust that he's going to have to against a really, really good, solid Bengals defense.
Yes.
Bengals are favored by 5.5, and I like them to win by a touchdown here. I like them right around probably like a 24-17.
Yeah, I like Bengals 21-14.
Okay. Texans, Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. This matchup will take me about 30 seconds to cover, to be honest. Dallas is favored by 17. They should win by 20. I'll take them 35-14.
Yeah, Battle of Texas. Houston 1 win. Dallas
9-3.
9-3.
6-1 at home is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I can't pick the Texans in an upset here.
The Texans got to be just tanking at this point.
Yeah, they just don't have the firepower to compete against that defense, nor the defense go against that offense. I like Dallas here, 28-7.
Yeah.
I'll give Houston a touchdown.
Moving into the next matchup, this one is really interesting. The 5-7 Lions are favored by 2 points at home over the 10-2 Vikings from Ford Field. That is insane to think. I mean, the Lions are on the rise a little bit here. They picked up a big win last week over the Jags. They got 3 wins in a row before losing to the Bills, but only by 3. So they held their own in that matchup as well. And now they take on a very good Vikings team, but they're at home. What do you make of this matchup? I mean, I like the Lions being favored, but I don't know if they'll be able to get it done. What do you think?
Yeah, this is the second matchup of the season for these two teams. They played way back earlier in the season. Detroit barely lost that game on another close. I don't remember if Minnesota scored a touchdown or a field goal, but they came out with a win barely versus Detroit earlier in the season. I'm pretty sure Jameson Williams got activated last week.
Yeah, so if he's not playing yet, he's real close. So that's a huge part of Detroit's offense they could get back.
Oh, yeah. Minnesota with a close win over the Jets, even though they had most of that game control. Honestly, I'm going to go with the favorite here. I like Detroit to pull it out.
Wow.
Because their offense has just been really playing pretty good this year for the most part. It's just that defense is... They're going to have to play better for them to win this game, though. But I like Detroit in a high-scoring affair. Give me Detroit 28-24.
Wow. I will go 24-20, but I am taking the road team, the Vikings. They should have topped right around the top of the NFC right now, and I think
they're the second seed.
They need a huge win to keep pace, and the Lions really shouldn't be around the playoffs, and they should try to get as best draft pick as they can. I like it to stay competitive. Like I said, 24-20. good game. Should be real interesting down to the wire game, but I like the Vikings to pull it out on the road 24-20.
We're going to need another Hutchinson snag.
Right.
Off of Kurt Daniel Cousins.
Yeah, give me another Hutchinson pick. That'd be great.
But I don't know if Jeff Okudo and that secondary can hang with Jefferson.
Yeah, that's really the problem to me. Is just that defense trying to keep up with those DBs, and then especially trying to have to watch out for Dalvin Cook if you do try to play the pass and play off a little bit.
And then this is Hawkinson's return to Detroit.
And Hawkinson's got a chip on his shoulder with everybody talking the way they have been. So it's a real good storyline. Couple good storylines. Real good matchup. There's a couple good games on at 1 o'clock. So I'm definitely gonna be having these games on.
Let's move on to the next one. Another division matchup. Wow, a lot of division matchups this week.
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles heading to the Giants for their first matchup of the season. The Giants, they tied last week with the Commanders, and the Eagles just, they really took it to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts with a big game.
They whooped Tennessee.
Yeah. After what I learned earlier with Saquon's neck injury, I'm not sure. I feel like he's really up in the air about playing this week.
Yeah.
And even if he does play, it's just hard to see the Giants scoring points.
I agree.
They're gonna need, for the Eagles to lose this game, they're gonna have to beat themselves with a couple turnovers and just not play a good game. That's the only way the Giants would pull an upset here. But I don't see that happening. I think Philadelphia's gonna keep rolling. I don't see them, going through a letdown after their big game last week. So I like the Eagles here. Give me, probably 24-10, 28-10, just like the Tennessee game. I don't see it going too much different than that Tennessee game.
Yeah, Barkley being hurt and essentially probably being not as big of a factor really hurts the Giants' chances doing this game. The Giants are in a real fight for the playoffs right now, so they really need to win. But I think just not having Barkley is going to be a little bit too much.
Yeah, he's a big part of their offense, and Daniel Jones isn't really. He's all right.
Philly's favored by 7. I like them 24-13.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Ooh.
Heading into the next game, Baltimore going to Pittsburgh.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one.
Uh-oh.
First time they played this year.
What about Lamar?
He's out.
He's already out for the...
Yeah. They declared him out today, so Tyler Huntley's getting the start.
Oh, man. That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks.
What happened to Lamar?
He suffered a PCL knee injury last weekend against Denver.
Oh, no.
So I bet he's out probably a few weeks.
Yeah, that sucks. Dang, that could really hurt the Ravens' chances to make the playoffs.
Honestly, I could see him just saying, screw it, I'm going to sit out the rest of the year and just get paid in the offseason, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean...
That's just me.
At 8-4 right now, with him missing, a possibility missing the last two or three games out of what, 4 left?
Yeah, there's 5 games left.
5? Yes.
And they're going to need them because they're winning the division right now, but Cincinnati is...
Right on them.
They have the same record, but
then if they get a big win, they get a big win over Cleveland, so...
Yeah, the Ravens have the tiebreaker right now because they beat them earlier in the season.
Okay.
So... with Cincinnati surging, Baltimore is going to need to keep up with them.
Yeah, and losing their star quarterback.
Losing Lamar definitely hurts.
Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, come on.
Let's see what Tyler Huntley's got, though. He's pretty good, so I'm interested.
He's similar to Lamar, but not Lamar.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. He's a mobile quarterback. He can still throw pretty decently. They still got Mark Andrews. Pittsburgh's actually the favorite in this game, which is kind of surprising, but in a sense it's not. They've won 2 straight, and they've beaten the Ravens 4 times in a row. So they swept them back-to-back years. Man, these games, I tell you, these games are always down to the wire with the Ravens. You can go either way here.
Yo, why are all these games done at 1 o'clock? How?
I know.
How? Man.
I know, I wish they would have put us at 4, but that's cool.
They should have moved a couple of these games to 4 o'clock, but...
This is going to be a low-scoring game, probably real similar to the Atlanta game. I'm going to take I think they're going to go 1-1 this year. I think we'll take this game at home. I like Pittsburgh 20-17. It's going to come down right to the wire, as usual.
Yeah, you know what? I think the Baltimore Ravens suffer a loss here. I just think that the loss of Lamar Jackson is a little bit too much to overcome. Pittsburgh defense is playing better. Got T.J. Watt back. They got a chance. They can kind of sniff around for the playoffs a little bit.
Yes, we actually have a very good chance.
So, they get a win here. Would be a big way to get themselves back into it. So I like a real close sweatfest for Kurt.
It's every time we play the Ravens, it is down to the last drive.
I'm taking a 24-21 game-winning field goal for Pittsburgh.
If it went that way or the other way for the Ravens, it would not surprise me.
Right.
I know this game.
A 7-point win for either team is what I really predict.
Yeah.
One of these teams is winning by 7 points. Who is it? It's going to come down to how Huntley looks really against that Pittsburgh defense and what the Pittsburgh defense can do. Not really having the game plan for Lamar. So, real lot of good 1 o'clock matchups. Like Kurt said, they probably should have taken one of these and moved them to 4 o'clock because there's only 3 games. So
yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll get to those in a few minutes, but moving on to the next game, another divisional matchup. The Jaguars heading to Tennessee Titans.
Ooh, this is a decent one. 7-5 versus 4-8. The Tennessee Titans are favored by 3.5.
Yeah. I thought this is just gonna be another kind of just a low-scoring type of ugly win for the Titans. To be honest with you, it's kind of this their mantra. They got a decent defense. I don't know if Traylon Burks is playing because he caught a really good touchdown last week over Philly, but he got concussed really bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to play, but I still just, their offense is just, it runs through Henry, and he's been kind of stifled the past couple of weeks playing Cincy and Philly. I think he probably gets a solid 100-yard, 2-touchdown type of game. And I'm going to go with Tennessee here. Just hard to pick the Jags, man. It's just, I can't pick them over Tennessee this week.
Yeah, I like Derrick Henry to control this game for the Titans, keep the ball in their possession, and pull out a close, probably like a 17-10, 20-10 type of grimy little nice win for Tennessee to get them to 8-5 and try to keep them in that playoff hunt.
Well, I mean, honestly, they probably are going to go because they're going to win that division most likely. I mean, they got the AFC South is Tennessee, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Houston.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So
they're going to win that division.
Yeah, most likely. Moving on to the next game. This was actually the Sunday night game, but they flexed it, thank God. Kansas City heading to Denver for another division game.
Oh, they moved it from okay, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been another. They were going to have another
Denver game.
Primetime Denver. They really had some high hopes for Denver this year.
They had a lot of hopes for Russ.
Oh, my God. They have. Well, how many primetime games would that have been? Like 4?
Like 5 or 6?
Right. More just.
They had like 4 within the first 2 months.
Yeah, this is another one for me. KC only being favored by 9 is crazy to me.
That's insane. I would take them plus 14.
I would take them plus 19. Give me like 41-13. Just Russell's terrible.
Yeah.
Broncos are bad. They got finesse.
You want to know
Russell.
something crazy? If Denver's offense averaged 17 or 18 points a game, they would only have one loss.
Yep, exactly. Because that defense is so good.
Yeah.
Yep. That's got to be such a painful thing for the Denver defense to be so good and to still be terrible.
To be leaned on so much and do your part.
And I can't even blame a subpar quarterback because they have somebody that should be good and he's just been.
Russ is cooked.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely picking the Chiefs here. I like the Chiefs 31-10, 28-10. I mean, the defense will only hold in there for so long. Surtain's pretty good. But man, that Broncos offense, they only average like a touchdown a game. So I don't see no upsets here. They can't run the ball.
For sure.
For the first 4 o'clock game.
Nice. Moving on down Tampa Bay versus the Niners. 8-4 Niners. 6-6 Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
Niners favorite 3.5. Wow.
Yeah, I can see that.
Who's the Niners starter now?
Yeah, with Jimmy G going down for the rest of the season at least. Trey Lance was already hurt.
Yeah.
It's the starting quarterback that stepped in last week against the
Brock
Dolphins
Purdy,
was
right?
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Well, I think he's a rookie, by the way.
Yeah, he was I think he played somewhere. Well, he played at a Big Time school. I want to say.
Sounds
Brock
pretty
Purdy.
familiar.
Brock Purdy sounds familiar.
Yeah, this is a kind of interesting game. San Fran with a win over the Dolphins last week. Tampa with that comeback win over the Saints, which the Saints blew.
Oh, man.
Monday Night Football, ridiculous. Beginning of this game,
I went to Iowa State. Brock Purdy went to Iowa State.
you know, I don't this from what I've seen this year, or just from watching the season, I am going to pick the 49ers to win here. And the reason being is because that defense is, statistically speaking, the best defense in the league.
Wow.
They don't allow points. Tampa Bay's offensive line, to me, is not that good. I know we always know Brady has a quick release, but I feel like he's going to get harassed a lot this weekend. I could see him getting sacked 3+ times.
Oof.
And the Bucs did not really look that good last Monday night. Brady had a lot of problems throwing deep, which he's kind of had all season. We like Godwin, we like Evans, but they just can't really run the ball at all.
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
To go up against a team like San Fran, you're going to need to run the ball a little bit better, just so Brady's not back there throwing it 50 times, getting cracked constantly.
Yeah, that pass rush is going to be miserable against Brady.
Yeah, and with the other thing is going to be how Tampa Bay's, they got a good defense going against the Niners offense. They're going to probably rely on McCaffrey, Debo. They're probably going to run through those two, so maybe it'll be my bet is probably a lower scoring kind of game, but I like San Fran here, probably 21-13, 2013.
For sure. This one for me is close because Tampa Bay is still very capable of winning the South.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're right in it. Actually, I think they're winning it right now.
Yeah, Brady gets a big combined win. You know what? I'm sticking with him. I think he gets a big win against the 49ers to stay in the NFC hunt here. I think he gets a 21-17 win over Brock Purdy and the Niners.
Yeah. I definitely think this would be a close game.
Yes, very close. I don't know if I have faith in Brock Purdy just yet. I know the Tampa Bay defense isn't that great, but Brock Purdy's brand new.
They're like top 5 in points allowed, so they don't really allow points. So they'll hold it down. It's just how's Brady and that offense going to do against that defense?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the biggest thing.
Yep.
They forced Tua into some really bad interceptions last week, so that's what killed them. But yeah, Carolina heading to Seattle for a big game for the Seahawks. Panthers, I guess.
They should keep losing. Panthers should just keep losing.
Yeah.
4-8 total record. 0-5 on the road. Going against 7-5 Seattle, 3-2 at home.
Yeah, Sam Darnold heading up to Seattle. I don't like the sounds of that.
Look at Gino's stats.
That's what I'm saying.
3,100 yards, 22 touchdowns. Let's go, Gino.
Good
Show
for
him what
him.
you bought. Yeah,
he's played really good this year. That's good to see.
You just like Gino Smith's just the guy you have to root for. Like just
Honestly.
everything that's happened with him. Gino Smith, you just got to give him a round of applause because he is just playing.
From being drafted by the Jets to being thrown around the league.
Right. And then getting thrown into this spot, you're like the butt of the joke with the Russell Wilson trade.
Yep.
And now Russell Wilson looks terrible, and you just come in and you take this Seattle offense and really do what Russell Wilson couldn't do, and now you got him in a position to possibly make the playoffs. And this is a big game for them, though, because they need to
win this. Because they are a game behind the Niners.
Oh, that's huge.
So, they could potentially sneak in the wild card.
But you definitely want to win that division if you can.
Absolutely.
I like the Seahawks to win. I think the Panthers just need to keep losing and keep that draft pick rising, to be honest.
Yeah. It's hard to see the Panthers scoring here. Seattle's defense has been pretty good. I'm not sure if Kenneth Walker is playing this week. He got hurt last weekend.
Mm.
But I still like how Gino's been playing with Tyler Lockett and DK. So I like Seattle. Give me them, probably 24-7, 24-10.
Yeah, I like a 21-10 Seattle win.
Heading into the Sunday night game, a game of two young slinging quarterbacks. Herbert at home versus Tua.
Ooh, 6-6 Chargers trying to stay alive versus the 8-4 Dolphins.
Yeah.
Sunday night game. Big game in SoFi Stadium.
Yeah.
Good thing they made this game the 8:30
instead of the Chiefs Denver game.
Yeah.
Whew. So Niners. Miami comes off of a loss versus San Fran. They hung in there, but just Tua with 2 or 3 picks. He was getting cracked. Chargers with a loss last week to the Raiders.
Yeah.
That
was big.
So this is a good matchup, but I'm gonna go with the Miami Dolphins to pull it out. The Chargers defense, I don't think they've really played that good this year.
They've been banged up, but they're not playing good at all.
When you speak in terms of what people are saying they were supposed to be with adding Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson, and then you already have Derwin James there and Joey Bosa, they just haven't really lived up to expectations. Herbert can only do so much. They don't have, even though Eckler's good in fantasy, they just have much of a running game. That line can't really do much. Who's gonna? Tyreek Hill is just a cheat code. He's just that good. I like the Dolphins here. 28-20. Give me a 28-20. Pretty good game. Dolphins with a win to push the Chargers to 6-7.
28-20 is just a little too close for me. I like the Dolphins to also win. They need the win. The Chargers, I think last week really put them out, took the win out of their sails. They'll still be good. They'll still compete. Give teams good games, but in terms of really competing for the playoffs this year, I don't know. Last week just kind of did it for me.
They're not going to be able to win that division with the Chiefs, so they're going to have to sneak into the playoffs.
Right, the wild card.
So this is a big. They need this game.
They need this game, and I'm taking the Dolphins to win. Probably 27-17 Dolphins.
Wow.
Over Chargers.
The Chargers are going to get 20 points.
Yeah, I think. I don't know, man.
Just got a feeling.
Are those receivers injured still, or are they all back? Or
Keenan Allen has been he's been there for a minute. Mike Williams is supposed to come back this weekend.
Okay, so maybe they get a little. Maybe I'll go 27-20. Maybe they do get 20 points, but like a nice win for the Dolphins for sure.
Heading into the final game of Week 14, Monday Night Football. New England Patriots heading to Arizona Cardinals.
Oh,
it's a weird game.
Yeah.
Cardinals come off of a bye week. Patriots come off of a...
Cardinals are 4-8, 1-6 at home.
Wow. Patriots with a long break. The last time they played was last Thursday night versus Buffalo. They lost that game. Honestly, I feel like I'm going to pick the Patriots to win here. Arizona 1-6 at home. Yikes.
Yeah. I'm definitely picking the Patriots.
Yeah.
4-8 Cardinals, just really off the rails. Kyler Murray to me is probably one of the most, if not the most, overrated quarterbacks in the NFL.
I just feel like Belichick's going to come in with a good game plan against him.
Yeah, and that.
To really limit him.
Yeah. Kyler Murray is already overrated, and Bill will come in with a great game plan to prepare for him. I like the Patriots to win this game. Like a 24-14 kind of 10-point win for the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean, last time we watched New England, I really liked the way Mac Jones and that offense played. Stevenson, we know he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cardinals defense, Hopkins will probably get his, but I think they'll find a way to limit him. I like the Patriots probably 23 or 20, probably to 13. Probably a 10-point win.
Right.
I've never really been the biggest fan of Kyler Murray. He's obviously pretty athletic, but I don't know. I
He's
feel like when you really need him to win and really need him to actually pull it off, I feel like he just kind of comes up short. No pun intended.
Yep.
But yeah, 1-6 at home. I'm not feeling Arizona here. Give me the Patriots with a much needed win for them to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. All right, are we gonna dive into the fantasy fiasco?
All right, to close out this podcast, we are going to talk about some fantasy football. Now, for most leagues around, playoffs are right around the corner. For my work league, we didn't really look at this till late. Don't ask us why. We kind of just let the run people become in charge. Our playoffs are laid out to have the playoffs start this week and end week 16, which make week 17 and 18 irrelevant. It's just, I don't know why it happened. I don't know how it happened, but it happened. But in that league, nonetheless, I do get the win. The much needed win from last week. Week 13. Let's take a look. I win 142 to 138.
Woo!
Tua puts in 23 points. CeeDee Lamb puts in 20 points. Tyler Lockett with a huge 27. Eckler with 13. Pollard with 24. He won it with CeeDee Lamb with the 20. George Kittle gets 4. Ramondre Stevenson gets 13. Tyler Bass gets 7. And Los Angeles Rams get 8 points on defense. I left 13 points on the bench with Everett and 21 points on the bench with Devontae Smith. Listen to his lineup. Jalen Hurts, 42 points. Jefferson, 18 points. Samuel, 12 points. Deebo Samuel, 12 points. Nick Chubb, 8 points. Gus Edwards, this one, 1.20. That really got him.
Oof.
Bryant, the Cleveland tight end, got him 2.40. Higgins for Cincinnati got him 12. York got him 11. And Cleveland's defense got 30 points in this league.
Yeah.
And I thought it was over for sure, but I get the win. 142 to 38. So we have just a big mess of a clump of teams in here for the standing. So my buddy Sean sits at 9-4 first seed. I finished 9-4, and then I think that is Larry at 3. But we have a 3-way tie, 9-4, separated by points for first place 1858. I had 1762. Third place had 1631. Fourth place had 1604. So that's a 4-way tie at 9-4. Two teams at 8-5 had 1609 and 1592. And that's pretty much winded out. The worst teams in the league, we had two teams go 2-11 and one team go 3-10. The worst team in the league only put up 1275. Second to worst was 1318, and the third to worst was 3171. So I get the bye. I'll come back with you guys for next week for some more playoff action, but that'll do it for that league, and I just have a bye now. Kurt, let's dive into the league that we're in.
Oh yeah.
As I am playing it, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm playing Kurt's nephew Owen, and Owen has 18 points already. But I'm not really mad at that because Devontae Adams only got him 11, and the kicker got 7. So I feel like I can match Adams with Mike Evans. I feel like I can match that good. And Tyler Bass either gets good points, so 7 points doesn't really bother me. So I feel like we're in good spots. I think I'm gonna bench Saquon Barkley this week in favor of Joe Mixon. And then it'll be Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, Mike Evans, Freiermuth. I'm going to leave Metcalf in right now. He is questionable, so he may come out for maybe a Singletary. Traylon Burks is out for Tennessee. That's huge. And I got Jalen Waddle starting. That'll be good. Kurt's nephew has Patrick Mahomes, Dalvin Cook, Adams already played, obviously. And the tight end for the Bucks, A.J. Brown, Tony Pollard, Devontae Smith. His defensive players are Singleton, Roquan Smith, and Diggs. And I have Edwards for the Eagles, Kendricks for the Vikings, and Mosley for the Jets. I'm favored to win this matchup 143 to 127. And looking at a brief overview of the league right now, first place, Derek finally got a loss. Kurt, you did it.
Yeah, I pulled it out.
Kurt did it.
Derek's team really choked.
Yeah, they look pretty bad. But so we got the first place. Derek is 12-1. Kurt sitting in second, 10-3. I right now hold the third place tiebreaker over Brandon as we both sit at 7-6. So I need to keep winning.
Yeah.
Tim is at 5-8 right now, so he's fighting for the playoffs at 5th. Top 4 get in with only a couple. How many weeks left to the playoffs?
We have this week and then next week.
This week and next week, and so a lot can change in these 2 weeks. But
these 2 weeks, literally for you and Brandon, make or break it.
Yeah, I can pretty much knock Owen out of it with him losing here, with dropping to 5-9 and drop him out of it. So.
And then Brandon plays Tim.
So we need that's a big match.
So like these games, literally this week, honestly, they will determine who gets in.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely will. Because if I would end up losing, that could open the door.
Then Tim or Owen could sneak in.
Right. Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Going to be a very crazy couple of weeks.
You know what's crazy when you look at it? And I just noticed this. You and I, our points are so similar. So, like, you have more points than me by, like, 25.
Oh, wow.
But then I've only allowed 7 points more than you. Yet I have somehow 3 more wins than you. How does that make any sense?
Right. I mean, I did have a lot of just really
like
close losses.
Like the game we had where it was within a point.
Yeah. First week, 4-point loss to Tim. And then I whooped Sean. Week 3, I get beat real bad by Brandon. Okay, so we take a real bad loss there.
There it is, week 4.
Week 4.
Oh my gosh.
164.78 to 165.46. 1 point, less than a point loss. Less than a point loss to Kurt. Less than a point loss to Kurt. Week 5, we come back. We'll get stomped our hearts out by Derek, 141 to 193. What can you do? Right?
Nothing you can do.
Go to week 6. We beat Devin by 3 points, 143 to 140. Finally, the close game guys are on my side for once.
The guys were on your side.
Yeah. We whoop Owen's bench team with all his Eagles players out, 144 to 70. Week 8. I lose to Tim 156 to 162.
Oof.
So a 6-point loss there. Week number 9, I beat Sean's team 169 to 35. Week 10, I win 159 to 132. My team definitely started putting up points. Week 11, I beat Kurt 147 to 128. Week 12, was that the same score? 141 to 193. I lost to Derek. I think that might have been
the same. That is literally like the same exact score as the previous one versus him.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane. And I come back and I beat Devin's team 144 to 108 to set up this week. And I need a big win against Owen, so my lineup is set. I went through the team. The only change I could make is putting in Singletary for DK Metcalf. Deebo Samuel is questionable, so I don't think I'll play him. But I could put in Singletary for a questionable DK Metcalf, but that'll be it. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll come down to Sunday night.
Right.
Because it looks like he has all of his players playing before 4 o'clock. Pretty much after the 4 o'clock games. So.
Yeah,
should be real fun. Real curious to see how this goes.
Right.
Think that's I covered everything?
Yeah, I think that'll do it for episode 55 of the Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. It's a Friday night. We will be back with you most likely next Wednesday for covering with what happened in this week and just more sports talk while we got it. Coming to the last stretch of the season, unfortunately. But gotta enjoy it right here. In for a big month. Waiting for Michigan football and finishing up NFL. And then we're going to keep it going. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Good fantasy and NFL talk. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Adios.